Hello guys, and welcome to another profile tree video. So in today's video we're going to be showing you how to use Squarespace to create a professional looking website. On top of that we'll cover everything from signing up for a Squarespace account, choosing a template, customizing your website design and layout, adding content and launching your website. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. So of course, Squarespace is great for either audience, whether you're a beginner looking to build your first website or even an experienced website builder looking to use some tips on Squarespace. Hopefully this would be the tutorial for you. Anyway, what I want to do is just get an introduction on why Squarespace would be a great platform for building websites. Now, of course, there are several benefits to using Squarespace. They have or tend to have more fluid designs compared to other website builders from what I've seen. So I've compared it with Wix. That's one of the other ones now. However, Wix does contain more templates, but I've seen that Squarespace has a lot more quality built in for what they've used for templates as well, and you've got more of a preview over Squarespace. I've also compared it with other website builders like GoDaddy as well, and it's nothing really compared to GoDaddy. You do tend to have more features involved with Squarespace than GoDaddy, so overall quite a very neutral and great platform for building the websites. Now on top of that as well, I would like to go through the different pricing plan with you guys and just have a look at what Squarespace can offer. So we'll go ahead and jump into that first. So with an initial startup, this is the first thing you'll see when logging into Squarespace. Now they do offer quite a lot of information on their site as well, and they do have a 24/7 customer support. So if you ever need any sort of help, the Squarespace team will be there to help you. So just jumping on to here, of course, we've got some templates, resources, where you can, of course, go through the help center, the Squarespace blogs. They do also have some information on the products as well, for like portfolios. You can hire an expert to build your website. Of course, there's other areas there when creating a website, selling, building your brand. So have a read through that. But what we want to look at first is the actual pricing plan. So this is actually the pricing plans that's available on Squarespace at the moment. Now, when you are creating an account or creating a website, you do get a 14-day or 2-week free trial just to test things out and see if it would be the suitable website builder for you. So that gives you a bit of thinking time whether you want to maybe push your website to have this sort of website builder. Now, there are 4 different options for picking a pricing plan. We've got personal, we've got business, a commerce basic, and a commerce advanced. Now, the differences between them all is, of course, the pricing. This is the annual payment, and you also have a monthly payment. Now, monthly payment does have a slight increase, of course, coming from £16, £24, £28 and £43. If you did pay annually, you'd only be paying 12 months or £12 for the 12 months. Of course, they have their own features there. If you have a look, of course, they've got advanced website analytics. Of course, if you compare that with basic, it doesn't have it. And with the commerce basic as well, you've got checkout on domain. They've all got it there, but this one's got powerful merchandising. Meanwhile, the advanced has advanced shipping, advanced discounting, and sales subscriptions. So of course, the more you pay, the more features that you'll be able to unlock. Now, in terms of the best value, it comes up to be the business one, which comes at £17 for the year, per month. So that's 12 months. You're paying £17 per month for the year. And of course, if you pay the monthly, it'll be £24 per month, and you can end the subscription anytime you want when it comes to monthly. Of course, if you pay annually, it'll be for the year. Anyway, if you do proceed to the pricing plan that you like, select the start free trial. You'll get the 14 days for free, and then after the 14 days it'll start billing you within your preferred method of payment. Of course, if you did want to compare plans as well, which is crucial, especially if you're a business and you're going to invest a little bit of money into having a perfect website, you may want to compare the actual plans. Now, all you would need to do is scroll down there, go to compare plans, and you're able to see some of the actual features and differences between personal, business, commerce basic, and commerce advanced. Now, you'll notice that they have their differences due to the amount of tick marks and the ones that are listed with no tick marks. Now, starting off with the personal, of course, it has everything there from SEO features, unlimited bandwidth, 30 minutes of video storage, all the way down to custom merch. But the only thing that it's lacking with the core is the actual professional email from Google, complete customization with CSS and JavaScript, as you can see there, guys. And meanwhile, business, commerce basic, and commerce advanced have all three of them. And of course, with the contributors as well, it is limited to 2, while the rest are unlimited. Now, that's another thing to keep in mind as well on why Squarespace is a fairly good platform to use. It's more the fact that with the contributors, they do have unlimited. Now, if I compare this with Shopify, it's not really fair to, but so Shopify is purely an e-commerce based website builder. Now, it has a limitation on the actual contributors that can use a specific website. So if you needed to touch things up, then you would only be limited to about 5, 10, or 15. Of course, there's there was basic, Shopify, and advanced from what I remember. Meanwhile, Squarespace here has contributors of 2, which is the personal, but of course majority of the people pick the business one, which is unlimited. So that's something that you may want to take into account for when it comes to the features. And of course, if I do scroll down with marketing and commerce, they do have their own checklist tick. So feel free to actually have a look at that. Just an example of one, which is the abandoned cart recovery, and that's people. It's in the name really, with the abandoned cart recovery. Customers would tend to maybe abandon their cart, decide not to follow through with the transaction. If they had put their email somewhere in the actual website itself, it will automatically send them out an email letting them know for them to come back and maybe complete the transaction. So that's a great way to upsell. Now, that's only available with the Commerce Advanced, so that's something to note as well. So hopefully that is everything there on the pricing plans. Feel free to have a look and check out for yourself when going through the plan that you need for your website. What I want to actually do now is start setting up a Squarespace account, so we'll go ahead and move on to that. Now, of course, if you are new to Squarespace, you may want to select the top right there to create an account. Now, if you are familiar with Squarespace and you have an account with them, of course, it's easy enough. You just select the login, continue with Google, Apple, or Facebook. If you are creating an account, just select the top right there. It'll change the page to create your account. Now, you can continue with Google or the email and just set one up with Squarespace themselves. Of course, there are more options as well with continuing at Apple, Facebook, and again, email and Google. Now, of course, since I already have an account with Squarespace themselves, there are a couple of sites that I've created there. So I've just cleared it up there. So basically, this is the dashboard that you'll see. You'll have your logo at the top. You've got dashboard, domains. So anyway, all you would need to do is create a website. So just select create website. Now you'll get this loading screen here. Then it'll ask you what your site's all about. Now, depending on the category of your site, of course, within health and beauty, you can be a non-profit one, nature, animals, real estate properties. It could even be a personal, for personal use, or a CV. So quite a few different areas there. Of course, if there's nothing you can see within the actual section here, you can go ahead and select how to describe your site. So if I said, of course we are going to be food, we'll just say food. So I'll just type in food. Then it'll say, what are your top goals? Now, I could either promote a physical business. This is if I have a business in real life, of course. And I want to maybe push the boundaries and have an online presence just to boost my actual physical business. You can sell on-demand videos, so that's of course a service without providing any actual physical item, just maybe digital products. There's quite a few options there, so we'll just say promote a physical business. So since we are food, I'll select next. Now, where are you in the process? So just say that you could either collect inspiration, formalizing an idea or personal project, turning a project or hobby into a business, growing an existing business, or replace my site with one from Squarespace. So we'll just say growing an existing business. Once you're done, just select finish, and you'll be brought into an area where with the questions that you've answered, it'll give you the best template matches. There are quite a few there, so it's given me 4 at the meantime. It also gives me the option to build my own template. It's fairly easy enough to navigate your way through Squarespace now that they've got their build your own template back. So this is just a blank template. You can work with that if you wanted to, if you have the time, of course. So yes, pretty much just have a good browse through the Squarespace template library. And once you've decided maybe your top 3 or your most loved one, of course you can favorite them if you wanted to. So with my favorites here, I've got the Chotto there. So you can heart them if you wanted to, if you wanted to come back to them once you've picked your top 3. Then now would be the time to pretty much proceed through that actual website. Now, you don't have to pick a build template. As I've said, you can build your own template. We'll actually go through that now. So I'm going to go ahead and select build your own template. So this would be unique to me, not nothing that's on that side where the templates are already built. Now, as it states, you can design your own homepage, you can add the pages you need, pick your color palette, and choose your font pairing. So select let's go, and we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the parts on the actual website. So once you've went through all that, now you can name your Squarespace site. Now, of course, if you are unsure on what you would call your site, you could just leave it blank for now and just select next. Now this is where you're able to build your actual homepage. Now here we have the introductory area where you can pick a couple of the different options there. So they've even got of course, some parts that are coded background wise. This one's a slider, so that looks really good. So you can have bits like that in. Now I'm just going to go ahead and select something a little bit neutral, just for the hero section. And then once you've selected your hero section, then that's when you can start going to your featured selling. So depending on how you want to do it, of course, if you're an online store, you can have it, or if you didn't want to do it, you don't have to. You can just skip that part completely. So of course, you could remove it if you wanted to. Say you just wanted an About Us area, you can go ahead and add an About Us area. So with the featured selling, since we do have some food products, I could just maybe select one of these and then go straight to the shop. So I can offer maybe some parts for a bakery, something like that. And then maybe just an insight about the brand. I can provide maybe an FAQ section, so it'll blend in, or maybe just an area more about the brand. Of course, you want to make sure that everything flows well. So we'll just do our services like that maybe, so it looks a little bit better. And then on social media, maybe I can add something like that. So this would be Facebook, that could be Instagram, this could be Twitter. And then for the forms, if I want someone to get in touch, I could add a contact us, where someone could send us an email, but it's not really necessary for an area for food. I could probably have a mailing list for anything new coming up. And then lastly, which most website builders do offer and some don't, this is good for the fact that Squarespace does offer it, is that they have a footer. So they've got an area for you to, of course, add your footer in. Now that would be perfect because it's saying location, hours, and a contact. So that's all that the site really needs. You could do it as basic as that, or of course there's another one here where you can add categories, which is not necessary for a food sort of site. So once you're happy enough with how you've laid out your site, all you need to do is select next. And of course you can decide to add more pages if you want to. You can remove pages as well. You could create a one-page website. So there's the about and contact. That's how it'll look like. There's the contact as well. You could flick through them if you want to. They've got their own shop as well. If you want to select shop. Now we do have the shop on ours, so we'll do that. I can provide the services as well if I wanted to. Once you're done, just select next, and this is where you can choose your color palette. Now, our one is monochromatic at the minute. It's just black, grey, and white. You could choose for different colors if you feel that the site needs it. So there's one there, nice brightly colored version of it. This one's a lot brighter in color. So quite a couple of different options there in order to build your actual website. I'll just go ahead maybe with something to do maybe like that. So once you're happy with the color palette, select next, and this is when you can go ahead and select your fonts. Now it'll give you a font pairing. Now it's saying that it's curated by our designers. There are other font options that you can still explore later on. So these are the ones that they offer straight away. So there's the new Haas Grotesque display, so nice and plain. And then you could maybe go for this one. Gives a little bit more funk to the actual site, so that looks really cool. Could do something like that. Or a Baskerville display, so a lot more formal. So Dapper. So I'll probably go for that. That I think matches the site quite a bit. So we'll go with this, and I'm gonna go ahead and select finish. Once you're done with that, that'll pretty much just lay out your website, and just does take just a minute or so for it to actually load. So once everything is sorted, it'll then welcome you to your site. It'll give you another opportunity to create your site title, of course. We're just going to go ahead and continue there. It'll give you a small guided tutorial on how to edit pages, create pages, and style your site. So once you're happy enough, you could just go ahead and get started. So of course there's an area there. You've got pages, design, commerce, marketing. Everything is pretty much easy to navigate around. So you can see there I can drag and drop the introduce your band, and then I can also undo and redo all the things that I've done as well. There's a way for me to style my site if I wanted to. I can duplicate that area. I can go ahead and edit this area. So there's quite a few different options there. Now you've got your site styles as well, where you can add your fonts, colors, animations, pretty much just change things about. And of course, if you are thinking, how can I add a section in? It's not necessarily elements area, it's more per section. You can just select the top left there for add block. Just click on that. It's easy enough. You can add your text, image, button, video, quite a few other things there as well. So say I wanted to add a shape, I can go ahead and select the shape, and then I can edit that shape to be another shape. quite a lot of shapes there. Can move it about if I wanted to. So that's how it'll look. Now if I'm happy enough, then select save. Then I can exit and just get a quick preview of how it would look. So it's got that little circle or oval. And of course there's a mobile view as well on how that'll look. So you can see that it's moved to the bottom while that's on the top left. On top of that as well, you're able to add some sections in. So from the sections that we missed earlier on, of course they do provide more sections on the actual main editing site. Now you can add this into it. So this is the slider or scrolling part. Now you can edit that out if you want to. Change your brand to, say our brand name is Goody Foodie. Just a random name. And you can select a link for that, for the imaging as well. I can remove this if I wanted to. I can shorten my area as well. Let's see. I can shorten that block, remove this area, shorten that block again, and I'll only have that strip. I can remove this area. Let's see. Go to the edit the items. I can remove them if I wanted to. Change the design as well. I could speed it up, lower it down, pause it on hover, fade the edges if I wanted to as well. Item spacing there, so I can have it spaced out fairly well. Can modify the spacing. Text size as well, it's easy enough. There's large, medium, probably be a bit better looking as a medium. But yeah, there's a couple of ways to make your site look a little bit better. As you can see, it's very, very highly customizable. As long as you just select on the section that you want, there's always going to be an area where you can add your blocks. So the surface is a little bit more different as well. I can apply it so that it moves from top to bottom. With this one as well, I can change the block as well, add audio, add the scrolling, quote, line. I can even embed some code in there if I wanted to as well. So just select the edit, and then this is where I'm able to edit it out. So H1, H1. I can display the source code as well if I wanted to. So that's how that looks. But of course you don't need to code CSS just so you can have some text. You could just simply select text and then select that editing tool. Type in hello world. And it's pretty much capable of scaling that to text. So you could scale that to text even more as well. So, and then you could delete elements if you wanted to as well. Or they're called blocks in this one, but elements and blocks more or less the same. Of course, we've got social here. If I don't like the look of that social, I can go ahead and delete that. So yeah, very, very customizable. As you can see, you can set up your website email addresses. This is where you can customize and configure the website settings. You can do your writing. You can format your text content, add images, videos, other media to your website as well. You can add more pages if you wanted to. So it's not just this. Of course, there's a way to also, so I'll just save that. There's a way to add more pages into the actual site itself. So we have 3 pages there. So you've got your main navigation, shop, about, and contact. Now, of course, if I wanted to add another page and call that FAQ, that'll just automatically add onto my header. So that's FAQ. Of course, I can modify it as well so that you can. So that's the URL tag. It's called FAQ. So the asked questions. So that URL slug is basically how it's going to look. So say for example the name of the site is Goody Foodie, so https colon then / Goody Foodie / frequently asked questions. So that's pretty much just how that works. I can add a password onto this as well so that the administrators have access to it, or the website editor, and not the actual visitors themselves. I can set an area to homepage if I wanted to, or I could duplicate or delete that page overall. Now, each individual navigation pages here have their own SEO as well. So currently, as you can see, it says FAQ, your site title, so that's going to be, Goody Foodie, and currently at the minute it says Piccolo Trumpet K4. That's just a bunch of random letters there. If you replace that with your actual domain name / frequently asked questions, that's how it'll look. Of course, you can add your SEO title and an SEO description, or the meta description, and you can hide it from search results as well. You could add your social image on there as well, and of course, if there's any added code for the page header, then you can go ahead and select that for the advanced. When you're happy enough, just click save, and that'll all save it for you, and then that'll become an empty page. So of course we did look at the pricing plans already. So this is when it comes to launching your website and promoting it. Of course you would want to select your plan before actually launching your website, or so you can launch your website. Make sure you preview the website as well to make sure everything's working correctly. Then of course launch it online, promote it on the social media, and that's pretty much your site ready to go and active. So as you can see, building a website with Squarespace is fairly easy, and of course with the right tools and guidance, you can create pretty much a very professional looking website in absolutely no time. Hopefully guys, this tutorial has been helpful. If of course we have left anything out, please do let us know in the comment section below. But other than that, I'll see you guys for the next video. Thank you very much.